Hey, how's everybody doing? Erev Yom Kippur is tomorrow, and I just wanted to give a quick message about Yom Kippur. Okay, so we know that Rosh Hashanah, we all basically were recreated, and the message or the energy of Rosh Hashanah was all new. Potential, future, vision, what we want for our future, what we aspire to, what we really choose to do. And that's basically what we were doing on Rosh Hashanah. And Hashem did not look at our past during that time. During those 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, there was no past. We had no past. Now, what does that mean, we had no past? We seem to have gotten our past back, right? Rosh Hashanah passed, and now we seem to be the same people. We seem to be, even despite all kinds of resolutions and all kinds of, decisions that we made on Rosh Hashanah, we do still seem to be the same, have the same character flaws, have the same challenges, spiritual challenges. We're sometimes going right back to saying Lashon Hara, to being, angry at our kids, to insulting our spouse, to, basically doing the same exact things that we said we were never going to do again. And if we are a new person, like, how does that make sense? If we're a new person, we were recreated, we have all this, potential. How is it that we seem to have gone right back to square one, and we're now Erev Yom Kippur, at what are we really expecting to achieve here? And who's to say that Motzei Yom Kippur, we're not going to go right back again to doing all the same things that we said we weren't going to do and that we're upset about from last year? So, a little bit of a hopeful note. Here we go. This is common. Everybody is like this. Now, how did we get our past back so quickly if we were removed from our past and we had all this vision and we had all this ability to look ahead and to say what we really want? And that is really true. Meaning, the judgment that we got on Rosh Hashanah is the DNA of the entire year. The entire year will unfold as it was on Rosh Hashanah. Meaning, if you came to shul or stayed at home with your real vision and real plan for the future, that is going to unfold this year. You are going to have a new year with the new person that you became on Rosh Hashanah. However, first of all, if you didn't have much of a vision, then of course, we're going to go back to who we were, because your past does come back to you eventually. It's not like you can be completely removed from your past forever. At some point, we do need to give a reckoning. There's a reckoning going on, and you do go back to who you were. That was your personality. But even if you did have that vision and you are a really new person, what we need to understand is that now we have a new vision, and we can know how to align ourselves with Ritzon Hashem, how to align ourselves with God's will, and really working on that kingship idea. That Hashem is our king means that we have a desire and an understanding that Hashem is in charge, and it's not about me. This world is not about me. It's about God. God is running the show. God is the king. And we need to align ourselves with God's vision for us. Less important is our vision for ourselves. More important is what is Hashem's vision for the world, and what is our role within that world. Now, yes, we do go back, even though, so you have to understand, it's like a seed. There is no way that your vision on Rosh Hashanah and your aspiration on Rosh Hashanah did not bear fruit. It did not make a difference. It did, and it's a seed. And that seed is going to eventually become your year, become you. It's going to take a whole year to unfold, but you created the DNA and the plan and the decision for the coming year. That was who you are. That's bound to happen. Okay? Now, during these days of tshuva and up until tomorrow night, I would suggest to really put this into action is you need to say to yourself, okay, based on the vision that I had on Rosh Hashanah, based on the plan that I had and my real aspiration and my real will that I activated on Rosh Hashanah, how does that work with who I really am, with all these character flaws and with all these little things that I do wrong? Okay? Now, it's bound to happen because it really was judged on Rosh Hashanah, and Hashem put you put yourself into one of those books, the book of the righteous or the book of the unfortunately the people who are really not so interested in being connected to Hashem, or the book of like the complacent Beinoni, which means like the middle of the road kind of people who are just kind of mediocre. I don't think anybody is like that. I think everyone was put into the Sefer HaTzadikim, the book of the righteous, the people who really want to be connected and aligned with Hashem. So what you need, you did that. You proved to Hashem, you told Hashem, and you really, really desired it. So that's going to happen. But what you need to put in now, need to put in the effort in order to get a chatima tova, Hashem to sign on the dotted line that this is the kind of year that you want. You need to make a plan. And that plan needs to be, how do I align myself based on that vision? What am I doing wrong? And is it aligned with Hashem, or is it just going to take me in the wrong direction? And there's this metaphor that Netivot Shalom brings, or no, maybe I think it's a different book, Siftei Chaim. I think I remember seeing it. He's like, you could be going in a certain direction. You could be on the train. Let's say you're on the light rail in Yerushalayim. We have this nice little light rail. And you're sitting on the light rail and you want to get to Machane Yehuda Shuk, because that's one of the stops on the train. And you're looking around and it's like a little weird because you see all the Jewish people are slowly getting off the train and all these Arabs are getting on, and it seems to be mostly Arabs. And like, why are you on the light rail with mostly Arabs from East Jerusalem? And slowly but surely you realize that you are on the train, and the right train, but in the wrong direction. You're going to the Arab Shuafat. You're going to Pisgat Ze'ev. You're going in the wrong direction, in the opposite direction from the Machane Yehuda Shuk. Okay? Now, you realize that, and you're like, oh, okay, great, no problem. Now you switch seats, meaning you're sitting on one direction, facing one direction, and then you switch to the opposite direction. There's like seats that are facing each other, so you sit to the opposite direction, and now you're facing where you want to go. But guess what? You're never going to get there because you're still on the wrong train. Oops. Okay? So what do you need to do? You need to get off the light rail and cross the street and get on the light rail going in the opposite direction. Yes, you're on the right rail. You're on the right train, but you're in the wrong direction. So you need to switch trains. Okay? That's what we did on Rosh Hashanah. Baruch Hashem. We did that on Rosh Hashanah because we put into Waze where we want to go, our destination. We got off the train, we crossed the street, and now we're in the right direction. Okay? So that's awesome. You can't imagine how amazing that is, because you're going to get there eventually. But now you have to figure out exactly how to get there. Meaning, in that train, what are you going to do to get to your destination? Yes, you will eventually get there, but you need to get off at the right stop, or you're going to need to get off a couple stops earlier, a couple stops later, and then you have to walk back, and it's going to be a little challenging. So at least you're headed in the right direction. So that's amazing. But now what we have to work on is our plan to strategically figure out how we are going to align ourselves, become better people. Now, there's a few tips on how to be a little bit quicker about the whole scenario, okay, and how to get a real atonement. One of them is to be mevater. If you are, it says in the Midrashim, it says in the Gemara, Kol ha'ma'avir al midotav, whoever forgoes his midot, whoever lets things go, whoever is just like okay with somebody doing not good things to them, whoever forgives other people, Hashem, measure for measure, ma'avirin lo al kol pisha'av. Ma'avirin lo means Hashem is just mevater. Hashem is just forgo. Hashem lets it go for you. Hashem forgives you for all the things because Hashem sees, oh, you're the kind of person who just forgives, who gets it, who judges other people's favorably. So that's how I'm going to judge you, says Hashem about you. So it's a great tip and it's a shortcut. Okay, so if we can try and work on forgiving everyone in our lives, forgiving everyone in Am Yisrael, and just being there and saying, Hashem, I'm letting things go. I'm letting other people, whatever they did, it's okay. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. I'm letting things go. That's an amazing shortcut to getting a full atonement. Number 2, being part of Klal Yisrael, of Am Yisrael. We've said this a few times before, and Netivat Shalom always talks about this, the idea that you're being part of the nation, or really focusing and working on uniting with the Jewish people, being one with your fellow man. So that is very helpful because no matter what, we're always flawed, we're always lacking. But if you connect to the entire Jewish people, you are like, you're one unit, and everyone together creates perfection, because what you don't do great, some other person does really great, and what that other person doesn't do so well, you do well. So together, everyone completes each other and are able to connect to Hashem, and are actually considered a ben, a child of Hashem. And that child, Hashem always judges the entire nation of the Jewish people as one unit, as his child. And that means that Hashem only can give us full atonement, and we can reach completion, we can reach perfection. So actually really try and focus on the fact that I am part of Am Yisrael. I am doing this for all of Am Yisrael. I want to be part of the nation. I am, you could even start the davening, and Chabad say this. Lubavitch has this thing that you say before tefillah, before your prayers in the morning. Hareini mekabel alai mitzvat aseh shel ve'ahavta l'recha kamocha. Really work on loving your fellow man. And it's not easy. And Am Yisrael is full of different kinds of people and different stripes and different strokes for different folks. And everybody has a different hashkafa. But if you can work on loving people despite the differences between you, despite the fact that you don't agree with what they're saying and you don't agree with what they're doing, and you think they're causing tremendous damage to everybody and to you. It's not funny. It's not a joke, and I'm not belittling it, but I'm saying still work on loving them. That is an amazing shortcut for atonement on Yom Kippur. And number 3, and last but not least, and this is probably the hardest, but probably the best tip of all, is to be mevatel yourself to Hashem. What does that mean? Basically say to Hashem, listen, I am nothing. I know this is crazy, okay? But listen, it's the truth, because we really are nothing compared to Hashem. We really, really are. So you say to Hashem, and you really start feeling it, it's not about me. This story in life, it's not about me. It's about you, Hashem. So listen, I am nullifying myself to you, which means I just want all my strengths and all my talents to be for you, to be for this role that I have in this world. Could you please take me and all my strengths and all my talents and just use me as part of your purpose in creation? Just because, you know what? Here's the cool thing. No matter what, that is going to happen. Meaning you're nullified anyway. You're not really worth much anyway. You're not really so important anyway. So you might as well actually try and be mindful of it and tell God, I know that I am nothing in this on one hand I'm nothing, but on the other hand I'm everything. I'm a little, what's the word? Peon? Is that a word? I'm a little cog in your big picture. I'm nothing. I want to be part of your picture for this world. And I'm good with it. With however you want to do it, I am going to be happy with it. With whatever you do for me this year, I am happy with it. And I am grateful for it, and I'm thankful for it. It's extremely hard to do. But if you do it, God will say, oh, you're happy with whatever I do, then I'm happy with whatever you do. And you're going to have full atonement. Try it. It's insane. It's called bitul. Bitul hayesh. And then you become an ayin. You become on one hand nothing, but on the other hand, you become everything. Because now you're connected to the infinite. You're connected to Hashem. And there's nothing better than that. Once you're connected to Hashem, there's no judgment, because you're really nothing in terms of the things that you did are not really considered the things that you did, because you're not even there anymore. Okay? And if you're happy with Hashem and the way He's treating you, and you say it in words, you will be granted a complete atonement, and Hashem will be happy with whatever you do, because it's measure for measure, and it's a reflection of you, and that Hashem is our reflection. Hashem is tzil cha. Hashem is your shadow. Whatever you do, Hashem will reflect back to you. So, Gemar Chatimat Tova, and Shana Tova, everybody.